All right, sorry guys about the audio on this episode. The entire thing just cut out right when I hit record, so we got no audio on our good microphones. So you will have to listen to this episode through the microphone on the phone, basically. Yeah, sorry about that. Elijah, tell them about some of the stuff we talk about, because we still want you to listen to this podcast.
We definitely argued about a lot of relevant topics, and we definitely do want you to watch the episode. Please watch the episode. So sorry the mic cut out, but you can definitely still hear us very good, but it's going to be a little off.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's quiet, but for the most part, just stick with it, please. Thank you, guys. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, we are joined today by our UFC champion and UFC Battle for the Bank holder, Elijah. What's going on, Elijah?
What's going on? How you doing, Justin?
I've been doing good. I'm coming back from vacation. I had a nice vacation down in Nashville for my cousin's wedding. It was great. We are back now, back with the podcast. We have missed out on a couple of things through the last couple of weeks. We didn't get to do a prediction or a review for Burns versus Morales, but we did get to do a live reaction for Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena, so if you want to go check that out, you guys can go check that out. We didn't get to review it. We'll touch on it here. We'll touch on Burns versus Morales. But there are bigger conversations to be had about the future. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, and Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez 2.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. We will get into all of that throughout today's podcast, and then we will end on predictions for Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. We'll probably just do the whole main card, predict for that. And then next week you will come back and you will hear us talk about the Newark card, which would be O'Malley versus Merab. There's a lot to talk about, but we are going to save that for next week's conversation, because there's a lot to cover today. So, just to jump into it, Jack Della Maddalena gets the unanimous decision win over Belal Muhammad. I think...
Who?
I don't know who that is. I think it's actually someone that you picked to win, though. I'm pretty sure you picked Belal Muhammad. I think we might have both picked Belal Muhammad to win.
Wow.
But Jack Della Maddalena basically picked him apart over 5 rounds. Beat him in 4 rounds. I'd give Belal maybe 1 round, maybe the 4th round. That's about it.
I give Belal 2 rounds.
Other than that, Jack picked him apart. He didn't get taken down much. Like, every time he did, he got right back up. That was pretty impressive. And he was piecing Belal up. But Belal has a chin, bro. The fact that he didn't get dropped by any of those shots is insane, because Belal took so many shots. One after another. He just kept on taking him on the chin and kept on coming forward. So I have a lot more respect for Belal after watching that performance, honestly. Because I used to think that if he got caught, he'd be out. Like we saw the Leon Edwards with the kick in the first fight before the eye poke. Wobbled him. We saw him get knocked out by Luque and Jeff Neal. And I just thought that if Jack hit the chin, he was going to go unconscious. But Belal stayed awake through all of it. So that was really good. Do you want to talk anything about the fight? How do you feel about Jack Della Maddalena's chances against Islam?
You know, I think he beats Islam the same way. Like, Islam's moving up to a weight class where these guys are bigger.
Yeah.
You know, they're naturally bigger. Like Islam, you might be bigger down there, but these guys are already bigger. Like these guys are, Islam's what, 5'10", these guys are 6 foot, 200 pounds walking around, cutting down to XYZ, and Islam, he can do it, but in the striking department,
I don't know. Jack's striking is really good. Islam's got good striking too. But I think that he's going to want to try and get this fight to the ground, and I do think he's going to have more success than Belal. But Jack's takedown defense has gotten really good, apparently. Like, I don't know. Gilbert Burns must be really good at takedowns, because Jack's takedown defense was really, really good in this fight. His ability to get up off his back was really good, and I think that will benefit him in the Islam fight. Because that was announced that is what we are getting next, so... Whether you wanted Islam versus Topuria or not, we'll talk about that a little more later.
Topuria said he would even move up to 170.
I think that's a bad idea, but we will talk about that in a little bit. I just want to cover some more stuff before we get into that conversation. Jose Aldo, well, first off, Shevchenko won a decision against Manon Fiorot. We're gonna get Weili versus Shevchenko next, hopefully. It was a close fight, but there's really not much to talk about other than the fact that now we get to see Weili versus Shevchenko, which is it's gonna be like a co-main event to some pay-per-view, and it's gonna be great. But no one's gonna give it as much hype. I'm not even giving it as much hype as we should be. It's two of the goats of women's MMA, but
it is a hype fight. It's
just Shevchenko has not been the same recently. Like she's just been barely getting by. Like it seems like in her past like 5 fights, she hasn't really had that will to go out there and like knock an opponent out or submit them or like really like cement why you're the best. She's kind of just been like barely just scraping by decisions like against Grasso, Manone, Tyler Santos. These decisions are just like really close decisions where Shevchenko doesn't really seem to be doing much other than just barely winning.
Yeah.
So I mean I'm less hyped now than I was before, but it's still gonna be a good fight. So I'm excited about it. Jose Aldo, on the other hand, has now retired. A lot of people say that fight should have went Jose's way against Zahabi. No, Zahabi won that. He won the first round. I thought he won the second round. I thought he won the third round. I mean, Jose probably won the second round, but it was super close.
Yeah.
So if you want to give Jose the second round, go right ahead. But like that third round, Zahabi got soccer kicked in the head. He got kneed, he got punched, he got rocked. But he didn't seem to take any damage. Like he got hit a lot, but he came back, started fighting right away. And then Jose gassed out, and Zahabi was on top of him, landing massive damage. And when we're judging by a criteria of damage, Zahabi won
that fight. Jose won
No,
that fight.
he didn't.
Jose won that fight.
No,
Zahabi didn't do enough on the ground in terms of damage to Jose.
He made him bleed. He landed like 20 elbows.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
What did he need to do?
I mean, it was
knock him out.
It was at the end of the fight. He should have knocked him out.
Okay, but did Jose land that much damage on Zahabi from those soccer kicks and that knee and those punches? Like Zahabi looked rocked in the moment, but he recovered so quickly that he didn't take that much damage. Jose took a lot of damage in that third round. Zahabi doesn't look like he took that much damage in that third round. Like he got hit a lot, but getting hit a lot doesn't always mean you're taking that much damage. Like he didn't look like he took more damage than Jose. By the end of that round, Jose definitely looked more damaged. So I think you give that fight to Zahabi, rounds 1 and 3 at least. That's just my That's just my
Jose won that fight. He should have went out with a good win on his retirement fight. I think you're being a little biased.
Whatever you say.
I'm the champ. I'm the champ.
For now. We've got some predictions to do by the end of this. Benoit Saint Denis got a good submission win. Alexa Grasso is no longer a contender now. She just got beat by Natalia Silva. And Natalia Silva is now probably going to be next up after Weili for the title, so she's going to have to wait. But other than that, this whole card was really good. I mean, if you didn't watch it, you underestimated it. I mean, there were so many knockouts and stuff on the prelims and stuff. Mike Malott getting a knockout. Jasmine Jasvizius finishing Jessica Andrade in the first. I mean, there was just a lot to talk about on this card, but we're not going to get into any of it from now. Like, Bruno Silva, shout-outs to you. I hope you feel better. He had his skull caved in. I hope he's better. Next up, we've got Michael Morales getting the knockout over Gilbert Burns in the first round. Gilbert Burns on a 4-fight losing streak. It's sad to see, but Michael Morales 18-0. 18-0. He needs Leon Edwards. He needs someone at that top of the top now. This guy's good. Good. Really good. I've been talking to him up so long. He's the one that has his mom's like a world-class like wrestler and his dad's a world-class kickboxer or something like that. Future is bright for Michael Morales. And where do you think Gilbert Burns goes from here, though? 4-fight losing streak. Still ranked, but has now lost to Michael Morales, Bilal Muhammad, JDM, and there's one more in there. I forgot who it was. There's one more in there.
Chimaev.
Oh yeah, Chimaev. So who do you think is next for Gilbert Burns at this point?
BMF title. BMF title.
No, why?
BMF
He doesn't deserve BMF.
Max beats Dustin,
You,
and then Max.
I hope you're right about that, but I think you're wrong.
No. Look, Max easily beats Dustin Poirier, and then it goes into him and Gilbert Burns could fight at a catchweight.
You know how crazy that sounds, right?
Sounds like a good money fight.
No, it doesn't. I don't think Gilbert Burns is a money fight. He just fought in a main event at an Apex. At the Apex. Like, come on. He's not a money fight. But I love Gilbert Burns, but I mean, he's on a 4-fight losing streak. He definitely does not belong near BMF.
Title shot.
Now you're just trying to rile me up. Alright, we're going to now let's talk about Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria.
Right.
So I posted a short before I left for vacation, basically railing on this fight. I don't like it. One, making Islam vacate his title, if that's what happened, which, I mean, a lot of people are saying that he didn't, and he actually, if Islam vacated his title, if he gave his title up willingly, it was because the UFC told him he couldn't keep it, which is basically them stripping him of the title. Like, you could say that he gave it up, but if the UFC told him you have to give it up, or if you want to move up, then that's them stripping him of the title. So just wanted to clarify that for anyone who didn't think of it that way. He got stripped of his title, basically, for wanting to move up to welterweight.
But yeah.
No. Why can't he double belt? Why can't he two belt?
No.
He said on Twitter before he got stripped that he would go up to welterweight, win the welterweight belt, and then come back and defend against the winner of Oliveira versus Ilia. And then they could fight for an interim belt. Ilia versus Oliveira could be for an interim belt, and then the winner of that goes on to fight Islam when he moves back down to lightweight. Why doesn't that work? Why can't Islam two belt?
Because if Islam loses the belt at lightweight, comes up, and then loses the belt at 170, then it was basically a waste of time.
And at least if he had the lightweight belt, he could move back down to lightweight, though.
Doesn't work like that.
And also, why is Oliveira getting a world title shot? He lost to Arman. Okay, so did Patty. Why is Patty not getting a world title shot then? Oliveira lost to Arman, and Arman is not in this title fight.
Well, Arman's not getting another title shot because the fact that he keeps pulling out. He's not getting another title shot.
Oliveira did the same thing. He pulled out of the fight with Islam.
More fans.
Why does that matter?
It's a money
That's the thing. That's the thing. It shouldn't be about money. This is the best fight, the best. This is the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. This is not the Ultimate Money Championship. This is not the what will make us the most money championship. This is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, which means that the ultimate fighters have to fight each other, the best fighters in the world. Which is why I'm also mad about Volk and Islam versus Yair, but we'll get into that. But Arman is better than Oliveira. I don't want to hear any conversation about it. He is better. Name me one realm of that fight that Oliveira was better at.
Striking,
No.
the ground and pound.
Arman had more strikes and he had better strikes, and the ground and pound, Arman won every minute of the groundwork other than those 30 seconds that he was put in submissions.
No.
He had more
had
ground.
the choke.
No.
He had the choke.
Yeah, but it was failed submission attempts. Failed. He didn't
That counts as damage because he couldn't do anything.
No, it doesn't. Submission attempts do not count as damage. And you have to give Arman credit that he survived those submissions. Those are failed submission attempts.
30 more seconds, he would have been out.
But that's not how. Okay, you give Francis Ngannou 30 more seconds in the fight with Stipe, and he could have knocked him out. In the first fight. You can't judge it like that. Oliveira had 5 minutes to submit him, and he couldn't. And he got beat up for 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and he got one lucky submission where he couldn't finish it.
And that was
failed.
Against the number one contender. He had an off round.
Failed. Arman didn't fail. Arman won the fight. Arman should be getting this title fight against Ilia.
He pulled out twice.
He pulled out once. He pulled out once against Islam, and Oliveira pulled out once against Islam.
Yeah, but he don't got that type of Oliveira swag.
Yeah, but that's not what it's about. It's about who's the best, and Arman is the best. Arman is the best in the world behind Islam. And it's that simple, and he's not in a title fight. And it's the same reason why I'm mad that Evloev is not getting a title fight against Alexander Volkanovski. Like, why should Yair get a title fight over Evloev? Evloev is on a 9-fight win streak. Evloev has beaten Aljamain Sterling, Diego Lopez, Arnold Allen, Dan Ige. Yair Rodriguez has beaten one guy on the top 15, Brian Ortega, and it was by injury. And then they rematched, and Brian Ortega won that fight. So what are we talking? Yair is getting a title fight off of a 1-fight win streak over an unranked Bellator fighter. And it was a boring decision.
It wasn't a boring decision.
It was a boring decision.
We watched it live.
It was a boring.
How could you say it was boring?
Because it was.
He outfought him.
An unranked fighter. And he gets a title fight off of that after losing to Brian Ortega and losing to Volkanovski before that. Like, we already saw this fight. Volkanovski beat the hell out of him.
Volkanovski's older.
Okay, and that doesn't... We already seen that he beat Diego Lopez pretty easily. Why wouldn't he do that to Yair? Yair's not good.
Because Yair doesn't have the itch on his chin.
Dude, why couldn't we get Yair versus Brian Ortega... Or why couldn't we get Yair versus Diego Lopez, and then we get Alexander Volkanovski versus Evloev? Why couldn't that happen? And now Evloev is fighting an unranked fighter. He's fighting Aaron Pico.
Pico's a good fighter.
He's a debuting Bellator fighter. What are we doing here? He's not a top 15 opponent.
So you're saying Bellator fighters aren't good? I mean, look at Michael Chandler. He's had great success.
Look at Michael Chandler. He's won against Dan Hooker and Tony Ferguson, and he's lost to everyone else.
Legends. He beat 2 legends.
He's lost to literally everyone else.
That's the top in the division, but
look
by
at
a
look
slight
at
margin.
look at Pitbull. He came in, lost to Yair Rodriguez. Aaron Pico's going to come in and lose to Evloev. Patchy Mix is going to come in and lose to Mario Batista. Like, what are we doing here? Evloev should get the title fight. Yair, just because it's in Mexico, is getting a title fight, and it's wrong.
Evloev barely beat Aljamain. Barely.
Okay, and he still won.
If he barely beat Aljamain, what makes you think he should get a title shot? He
Barely
beat him.
Okay, name me who Yair has beaten.
The last dude.
Exactly, you don't even know his name. So you could have that same conversation about Yair.
They're all professionals, though.
You can have the same exact conversation about
Volk's
Yair.
not on the
Okay,
same
who wins,
level.
Yair or Aljamain Sterling? Who wins?
Yair Rodriguez.
You're lying. You
Yair
know you're
Rodriguez.
lying. You know you're lying. Aljamain Sterling grapples him up in the first round. He chokes him out like he choked out Corey Sandhagen in the first. Aljamain Sterling beats the hell out of Yair Rodriguez.
So why isn't it Aljamain versus Volk?
Because he lost to Evloev. Have I not made that clear? Evloev is the best in the world.
Evloev's not getting a title shot. He's not cool enough.
That doesn't matter. The best fight the best. It doesn't matter how cool you are. It matters how good you are. And Evloev is 9-0 in the UFC, 19-0 in his career, has 4 wins over top 15 opponents. What are we doing here?
I can't co-sign. I can't.
All right, well, maybe we could talk about something that you will co-sign. Jon Jones should be stripped of his world title.
Absolutely not. Jon Jones does not deserve to be stripped from his title. The greatest champion we've ever seen. Listen. He's made his plans with the UFC very, very clear. If they haven't told Tom, then Tom just has to sit there and wait. I understand he wants to fight. But go fight Cyril Gane. Go out there and improve yourself.
They won't let him. They want him to wait for Jones. The UFC
Jon
want him to
Jones.
wait for Jones.
Okay, so wait for Jones. Let him finish his movie.
But he's in the... No, Jones should have to defend his goddamn title or vacate. There's 100,000 people who signed a petition, me included, to get Jon Jones stripped of the world title. Are you just going to ignore all those 100,000 people that want him to be stripped of his title?
Yes.
Why?
Because 100,000 doesn't come close to the 7 million that follow him on Instagram.
Dude, why? Okay, so tell me why Jon Jones should get special privileges. After everything he's done with all the drug failures and the crashing into pregnant women and dodging opponents and losing to Dominic Reyes and then not giving him a rematch.
He didn't lose to Dominic Reyes.
Why should he be given special treatment?
Because he's beaten all the greatest fighters. He's fought the number one contender for like 12 years straight. His whole career, like, Jon Jones is the guy.
Okay, so
he is the guy. He's already.
I agree that he is the GOAT, but Jon Jones is the heavyweight champion before that. You ignore that he is the GOAT. He is the heavyweight champion of the world, which means that he should defend his belt. Okay, tell me this: if, let's say, the Chiefs were the Super Bowl champions,
right?
They're still gonna play the next year to try and win it again, right?
Yes.
So why is Jon Jones not trying to play to win? He is the champion. He should go for true greatness and beat Tom Aspinall.
He's leaving the champ. If it was Alex let Tom fight Alex Pereira or something.
Why can't he fight Tom Aspinall? Why is he scared to fight Tom Aspinall? Explain to me that.
He's not scared. Why would Jon Jones be scared?
Because he thinks that he's going to get knocked out in his last fight and then never fight again, and then his legacy is going to be that he lost his last fight against Tom Aspinall. That is what he's scared of. He's scared to get knocked out in his last fight.
That for Jon Jones?
I do want that for Jon Jones.
Why?
Because I want Tom Aspinall to be the greatest heavyweight of all time, which he is on the way to being. If he knocks out Jon Jones in the first round, Tom Aspinall is the new greatest heavyweight champ of all time. And I'll die on that hill. He'll be better than Stipe. He'll be better than Cain Velasquez. He will be the greatest heavyweight of all time with just one more win against Jon Jones, first round knockout. You cannot deny he will have a 2-minute fight time average. He will have every fight first round, second round knockout, and he will have beaten the greatest of all time. The only man to ever do it.
A man 40 pounds lighter than him.
No, Jon Jones weighed in at like 235, and Tom Aspinall weighs in at like 250. So it's like a 15-pound difference.
260.
Okay, and Jon Jones beat Cyril Gane, who was like 30 pounds heavier than him. So what's your point?
No.
If it was that easy, why can't he do that to Tom Aspinall?
Cyril Gane was 260.
Die, motherfucker. Die, motherfucker. Die. Alright, he's gone.
Cyril Gane was 260. Jon
Okay.
Jones was 245. He was heavy.
Well, still, why can't he just fight Tom Aspinall the same way he fought Cyril Gane? Why is he so scared of Tom Aspinall?
It's not that he's scared. It's just that Tom Aspinall was never in the player.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If Jon Jones retires while there's an interim champion and he never unifies the belt, does that hurt his legacy?
No. Justin the HVAC.
Gotta turn that heater off. Okay. So it doesn't affect his legacy, is what you're saying.
Not at all. Not even a tad bit.
If he got knocked out by Tom Aspinall, would that affect his legacy?
No.
Okay, so then what's he so afraid of? Then why can't he just fight Tom Aspinall? If it wouldn't affect his legacy either way, then why not just go for fighting him?
Doesn't need to.
But he's the world champion with the interim champion waiting in the wings to fight him for over a year. You're telling me that he doesn't need to fight the interim champ? Because he has nothing to prove. Brother. Then why doesn't he just vacate the title? Why is he still holding it then?
Didn't have to made him do it.
But why doesn't he just vacate it himself? Why is he just holding up the division? Why doesn't he just vacate it and then say, okay, I'm not going to fight Tom Aspinall, so I'm done. I'm not the champion anymore. Because if you're refusing to fight someone, that means you are no longer the champion. Like, if you refuse to fight Tom Aspinall and he's the interim champ, that means you're no longer the champion. Tom Aspinall is now the champion, and you can go retire. So he's just holding it for longer. And what, he's just never going to fight again? Because he's never going to come back and fight anyone other than Aspinall while he has that world title. The only way he comes back and fights anyone other than Tom Aspinall is if he vacates the world title.
Not true.
So, who...
They were thinking about putting up Jon Jones and Cyril Gane too.
Brother.
For the undisputed.
No, but if they do... No. You
Yeah.
know that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know that
it does.
That
Yeah,
pisses
it
me
does.
off that you're even saying yeah it does. So because you know that you don't want Tom Aspinall to knock out Jon Jones. So you're scared that Jon Jones would get knocked
No,
out.
I'm saying Cyril Gane earned it.
By beating who?
Volkov.
Volkov won that fight. I don't want to hear it. He won that fight.
He did it. Though.
He won that fight.
He did it.
Like, he lost the decision, but he won that fight.
He did it though.
Okay, so you think... Okay, so wait. But Tom Aspinall finished Volkov in the first round.
But Cyril Gane's already been champion.
Interim champion.
Exactly.
Which is the same Tom Aspinall is.
But he's past that now. So he deserves the undisputed. Or
He
Jon
lost the undisputed title fight. He had 2 undisputed title fights. Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones. And he lost them both. Tom Aspinall hasn't had 1 interim undisputed title fight. So why doesn't Tom Aspinall get the undisputed title fight? Cyril Gane's already had 2 shots at it.
because he still hasn't fought Cyril Gane. If Tom Aspinall doesn't fight Cyril Gane, then he's just not a true champion.
You know that sounds crazy, right? You understand
He
that.
has to fight one more guy to get Jon Jones.
He's already knocked out everyone he's fought, and he's the interim champion.
Listen, if he can't finish Cyril Gane, then he's not.
If Tom Aspinall defends his title against anyone else, it will be an undisputed title fight.
No, it won't.
No. Tom Aspinall's next fight will be for the undisputed title.
I promise.
Whether that is against Jon Jones, Cyril Gane, Volkov, no matter who it is, Tom Aspinall's next fight is for the undisputed title.
No, it won't.
Yes, it will be.
Dana will not allow that.
Because he's waiting for Jon Jones. And Jon Jones is the one holding this up.
Jon Jones already gave them his vision for his plans. You can't force that man.
Then why don't they? Why doesn't Jones tell us?
He's the GOAT.
Why doesn't Jones tell us then?
He doesn't have to.
Why? He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the
37.
world. He's the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. You can't just sit around if you're the champion. You have to defend the title because you are the champion, which means you have to defend. The only way to prove that you're still the champion is by defending your title. You don't just get to call yourself champion while you sit at home. The only way to prove I am still the champion is to defend your title.
No, he's the champion.
Whatever you say. We're getting into predictions now. I'm done talking about this. My brain's gonna explode. Talked about way too much stuff I hate today.
Jon Jones
Nope.
is
done.
the GOAT.
Nope. I'm talking about it. You get me riled up again. Alright. So we're gonna do the whole main card of Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield. Yeah, alright, we'll jump right into it. Zachary Reese versus Dusko Tundarvik. Zachary Reese is 8-2. Dusko is 12-5. This is a middleweight fight. So either ZR or DT.
Oh yeah, I feel like
Hey, we're all on the main card, so your prelim guys aren't here. You don't have your prelim guys.
this is
up.
all main card.
This is all main card.
Oh yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
DT.
I got Zachary Reese. Okay, here we go. We're already
And
opposites.
these will be my official online bets.
Alright.
Legally.
Legally. Yeah, you freaking youngling. Just getting the ability to start betting now. Come on, dude. Been doing that for years. What? I'm older than you. Alright. What? What do you have to say?
What's your legal age?
I'll say it. 23 years old.
23.
23 years old.
What year were you born?
2002.
Oh wow.
I've already said it on the podcast, so they already... I mean, for the most acute viewers, they would know. So, there you go. 23 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, you're youngling. You're a 21-year-old.
Wow, you're gonna put my age out there?
Yeah, I mean, you just said it. You're talking about betting, so you gotta at least be 21. So, yeah, legally. We live in New Jersey. It is legal in New Jersey to sports bet. So, just want to put that out there. All right. Caitlin Vieira versus Macy Chiasson. Caitlin Vieira is 14-4. Macy is 11-3. Shit. You know what? Yes. Screw it. 3, 2, 1.
Caitlin Vieira by knockout.
I got Macy Chiasson. Probably by submission or decision. You're not getting that knockout point, by the way, if that happens. You don't get a point for that. All right. Next up, we've got Dustin Jacoby versus Bruno Lopez. Dustin Jacoby is 29-1, and Bruno Lopez is 14-1-0. Yeah, come on, boy, you got this. 3, 2, 1. Dustin Jacoby. He's got it, right? He got knocked out by Dominic Reyes like a year or two ago. Come on, man. How are you gonna let that happen? How are you gonna get knocked out by Dominic Reyes?
The GOAT?
You are so confusing. Do you like Dominic Reyes or do you like Jon Jones? You have to pick a side.
Why?
Because you don't get to just like both of them. You
can't.
say that Jon Jones won that fight, but
Yes.
you also love Dominic Reyes.
Yes.
It's so confusing to me. All right, Billy Ray Goff versus Ramiz Brahmameds. Sorry, I can't pronounce it. So either BRG or RB. Billy Ray Goff is 9-3 and RB is 11-5. 3, 2, 1. I got
RB.
Billy Ray Goff. Okay. The only thing we have gotten the same on is Dustin Jacoby so far. Okay. Oh, his name spells bag. Oh, no, it doesn't. PRG.
Berg.
Berg. Next up, we've got Gamrot versus Ludovic Klein.
Mateus Gamrot?
Mateus Gamrot.
Ooh.
24-3 and 1 no contest, and then Ludovic Klein is 23-4 and 1. I'm glad Ludovic Klein is getting a high-ranked opponent in the lightweight division because he beat the fuck out of Ignacio Bahamondes, and Bahamondes is getting Fazeev in the rankings. So if Ludovic Klein beats the fuck out of Ignacio Bahamondes and then gets a lower-ranked opponent than Ignacio, that doesn't make any sense to me. So at least Ludovic Klein gets a shot at a top 6 guy, and Ignacio gets a shot at a top 8 guy, because Ludovic Klein deserves someone higher ranked than Ignacio Bahamondes deserves. So I like them both. I'm glad they're both getting the opportunity, but Ludovic Klein definitely showed that he's better than Ignacio, so he gets a higher ranked opponent. Is this too high for both of them? I think so. I think they both should have fought lower ranked opponents, but here we are. So, yeah, screw it. 3, 2, 1.
Mateus Gamrot.
I got Ludovic Klein. Is your pen going?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll have to get new ones soon. Alright. And now, last up, we have the main event of the evening. We have Erin Blanchfield, the Jersey girl, versus Macy Barber.
From Jersey?
Yes, she is from Jersey.
Where?
I don't know. I know she is from Jersey, though. She is 13-2, and Macy Barber is 14-2. Oh, man. I love both of these girls, by the way. I love them both. Like, Erin Blanchfield, Jersey girl, great. Macy Barber, love Macy Barber. Her last fight, or not her last fight, but the fight with Amanda Ribas was sick. I remember watching that. Pretty sure that was on Josh Emmett versus Ilya Topuria card. That was sick. Okay, I'm going for it. 3, 2, 1. Flip.
Erin Blanchfield.
You got Blanchfield. I got Macy Barber. I want Macy Barber to win because Erin Blanchfield already has that loss to who is it? She already has that loss to Manon Fiorot, so I don't really see her like being in a title picture right now. And I think Macy Barber can make her way to the title, and I think she'd actually be a really good matchup against Valentina. Maybe the wrestling in this fight, though, with Erin Blanchfield might get to Macy, but we'll see how much work she's done. I think Macy Barber's hands are a lot better, obviously. Erin Blanchfield still has a lot of work to do in her boxing, but Macy Barber has really good hands in this division, really good kicks, too. She fights like an MMA fighter, Macy Barber. Like, that is how I would describe Macy Barber. She is a MMA fighter.
What about Erin Blanchfield?
She's a wrestler. She goes for a lot more takedowns. But Macy Barber will go for takedowns. She will fight on the ground, but she's well-rounded. She's MMA to the core.
To the people. I put the bet on the line every time. First time in history, greatness. Great.
And if he loses the belt, he will be able to cash in on his own belt after I win it, which I will win it. And then you get to cash in. Maybe if you want to come for O'Malley versus Merab, maybe if I win that right now, then you can cash back in on me that when you come for Merab versus O'Malley. So let me know if you want to pull up for that.
Well, in terms of while I am still champ, you know what? Yeah, while I am still champ, I'm going for history.
How does that work? You gonna cash in on yourself? How does that work?
No. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take my what's the word? Abilities to the WWE side.
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna win both the WWE title.
Okay.
And the WWE Battle for the Bank.
You know, we just recorded the WWE Battle for the Bank before this, right?
I know.
Not to spoil anything, but you got one answer right. So, you're off to a bad start for that. Maybe next time? Because it's definitely not happened this time.
The real champ. Well, I'm still champ.
You think you're just Jon Jones being able to do whatever you want.
Yes.
You can win whatever title you want. You can just throw yourself into any title match you want, whenever you want. Sit on the couch, wait whenever you want. It's not how the real world works. Okay? You're going to have to defend that title, which you are right now, and I'm going to win that title. And then your hopes and dreams are going to be over a lot sooner than you think.
Listen, man, this is what, 7-8 weeks I done had this title. You know, I'm back up on the board. Yeah. All right.
Fair enough. I think it is time to head home for the night, though. Yeah, that was a lot to talk about. Next week, O'Malley versus Vera predictions. We will talk about Blanchfield.
Who?
Oh, fuck. O'Malley versus Merab predictions. My bad. O'Malley versus Merab predictions next week, and we will talk a little bit about Blanchfield versus Macy Barber. Thank you guys for watching the Hardcore and the Casual podcast. Thank you, Elijah, for coming on. I have been your host, Justin, and catch us back next week. Thank you. Peace out. MMA fans, if you want more content like this, please click right here. Go under playlists and check out all the variety we have to offer. And if you want a suggestion on where to start, click on this video right here. If you want to be up to date or communicate with us on any of our social media platforms, check out That Casual HQ. And we will see you all soon. Stay casual.